argument. That's why I made that real.
Wow.
It wasn't that deep, but it was getting there. She had one more thing to say to that man. That man was gonna lay in the boy.
Was it a engagement?
No, it was just like, I want to say it was for their anniversary was coming up. And I don't know what happened in the car. I was like, look, hey, I know.
But they supposed to keep that in the car. Though.
Exactly. That's exactly what I told him. I said, hey, look, I know this.
Somebody bought it in.
Yeah, I was like, I heard him coming down. Like,
y'all already imagining what ethnicity they are too as well.
Bro, I was like, look, I understand y'all business. Like, trying to be in the business. But look,
yeah, of course.
Like I said, somebody bought it in. Somebody couldn't let it go in the car. Because, sometimes with that situation, somebody got to get the last word.
Oh, definitely. She wouldn't stop. It was her. She wouldn't stop. My man was just like, hey, he was more so like, let's get this done. We'll, especially when he saw me, he was like, we'll get this done. And then she turned around and she said something
because she knew
in reference to. I think if I was picking up correctly, it was something about they just let his sister move in, and she got kids, and they don't. And now it's like. It was going at risk because she said something about a relative and them cut them eyes at her, bro.
Boy, them relationships is crazy, bro.
I said, hey, I need to go outside.
Because the thing about relationships, and I ain't going to dive too deep into it, but as we all know, two people can come together, become a relationship, but your family dynamics that you grew up with versus the other person is different.
Yeah.
And finding that balance...
That's why I don't.
It's a war.
If you don't get to know folk family before you start dealing with them, really start dealing with them, I don't understand that. But people do it.
Yeah. No.
But real talk though, some people, some families, they know how to.
Yeah.
They hide it.
But if you a smart individual, if you smart, you gonna start to, catch some cues.
Yeah. Well, because I would say I ain't gonna say most of it. I could say for my family. Certain things will come out when they start getting comfortable. When they realize, okay, we explore. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Or she gonna be around for a while.
Yeah, she gonna be around for a while. But they don't just jump out there just like
no.
Or they might see something like my mom. She's like something about her I don't like, but she ain't gonna tell me. Type of thing. So it's like things like that.
Mine put you to the test from when you hit the door, because I got an uncle. Oh man, he gonna call you half little white girl.
You got that one, boy. Yeah.
And then my other auntie, she gonna be like, hey, well, we about to cook. Come on. She like, they old school like that. They older, like they 67.
Now that part, yeah, that's
like,
different.
Come on, help us out cook. And they be like, oh, I don't really cook. Oh, you ain't gonna make it. You
can't cook.
You might not be around my family too much.
And see, that's where, see, for me, if my mom tried that, I have to pull my mom to the side and be like, hold on. Because if the shoe on the other foot, I'm not cooking. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, what? What do you mean?
I'm always of the type, don't let nothing happen. I'm not going to let my family do nothing that potentially whoever I'm dealing with's family going to think they're going to have me doing.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not going to have, I'm not going to let.
You go to her family, they be like, you cook.
I'd be like, I'm not, yeah. So that's the thing that I'm always thinking about is like, because if I'm going to say no to something, she got to be able to say no to my mama the same thing.
Yeah.
Now it's all in the delivery.
Yeah.
But
or you step in like, mom.
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna call me and be like, hey man, come wash my car. Right? Yeah. Somebody mama come wash my car. And then my mom pop off and I done said no. My mom pop off and say wash the car to her. My girl ought to be able to be like, look at my mom and be like, I'm not doing that. Because I told her, you know what I mean? Like, I think there's that reciprocity to me is important.
Oh, I got you.
As much as you.
Oh, is everybody like, oh, y'all listen to all that? Oh, okay.
Y'all didn't see the camera?
He's good.
No, beautiful.
I told you we were going
to.
I already knew.
What's going on, family? As you can see, we are back. I got a new suit on. I got my cufflinks on. I look good. I feel good. I smell good.
Watch out now.
Anyway, we got Dwayne.
Nobody need to know how you smell.
We got Dwayne on my right. We got Reggie on the far left, and then we got our guest today, my man Rickland Young.
Yo, what up?
AKA best photographer in the Queen City. Respect.
You know, I don't like when people say that.
You don't? Yo, I can see that though.
Let me guess. You like to undersell and over deliver.
Yeah.
See, I like that.
That and on top of that, it's like, I don't want that pressure that I mess up.
Hey, pressure.
That's real. I'm human. I'm gonna mess up.
Pressure.
And pressure has made me good. I was about to say great, but I'm trying to stay humble.
Hey,
man.
I get it. No, I get it for you. I get it.
Stay home. Hey, you
There's nothing wrong with that, bro.
And then one thing I've learned too is that you're always the best until you mess up.
Well,
but you learn from your mistakes.
I will learn from my mistakes. You won't.
True. Yeah.
And then I went from the best to that nigga. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we used him one time before. He did great that time, but then after that,
well, it's the ever present thing, right? The last impression, right? Yeah. People are like, that last review or that last interaction with somebody. That if somebody asks the next day, hey man, I need somebody to get some photos. I don't know if you want to go over there. Yesterday was a little rough. You know what I'm saying? That's what. That lasting image, so that's I like that concept.
Yeah. So you know, some people are different. Some people say, the other day wasn't as good, but all the other times was great. You know what I'm saying? So he messed. Some people might look at it like, okay, we wasn't too hot than last.
I would cachet that,
but all the other times he was on point. He might just had an off day. You know what I'm saying? We all do,
right? I would cachet that different. I would just say I've been to him several times, and the results have been good. Yeah, because the average. If you go to somebody, if I go to you 5 times, and I had a great experience all but 2 minutes the last time, that means it's been a good experience.
But you know how crazy that last 2 minutes last? How long?
Well, how long it can last in someone's mind? Yeah,
it never leaves people.
It's the same thing like when you got a car. You done had that car, that thing been rocking with you these last 3-4 years, and you always get your maintenance done on time. And at one time, that maintenance like, come on. Nah, it's a bad car.
Yeah, it's a bad car.
All those times don't matter. But that
they done sold me a lemon.
Exactly. But now that one time that maintenance light done came on, and that 1 second, this car gotta go. Yep. Or I got a flat tire. Man, I hate Michelin.
Yeah,
you've been rocking with Michelin for 20 years, and now all of a sudden,
you hate it. Man, I can't stand it.
One time I got a flat away from Columbia.
But a lot of times that happened it probably happened at the wrong moment.
Yeah,
and that's where we start saying, I can't stand them why they gave me this messed up tire. But it just, that one moment, it was at the wrong time.
It added up on you.
So,
anyway.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful thing to have fellas here. We got Quan in the building.
Quan, the man, the myth, the legend.
We're going to get a camera on him next time.
I need a suit.
So lovely, man.
John knows somebody that knows somebody.
Yeah, man. I could put you on, man. You know what I mean?
Get him one.
But yeah, man, lovely. So we're going to talk about a few things on this episode, if you'd like to call it. Make sure, if you guys are listening, that you like, comment, subscribe. Go follow us on Instagram. Follow these gentlemen on Instagram as well. And if you need some work done, photography work done, this brother right here could hold you down if you don't know who he is already, especially if you're in the Charlotte area.
We'll find out today.
But man, kind of
you gonna learn today.
Real quick, Rickland, just give us a quick bio, man.
Oh, okay.
Kind of where you're from, man, your whole background, all that.
Justify quick. What's quick? Hello.
I was born by the river a long time ago.
Oh, he vocals now? Okay.
That was terrible. Nah, man, I'm from a small town called Anderson, South Carolina. To get it out there to make this real short, the way you know
Upstate
my hometown,
country.
The movie Radio was actually filmed at my high school. So that gives you a knowledge of the area.
Oh, I got you.
You went to that high school?
Yeah, I went to Tailhaven High School.
Yeah, what year?
So I graduated 07. So during the time,
you don't. I got a classmate that went there, but we talk about that later.
Yeah, so during that time frame, actually Radio was there the whole 9. Went through the whole even when they filmed the movie, that was actually would have been like my freshman year.
Because that's the same school that Chad went to.
Yeah, Chad. Yeah.
I probably didn't know that.
Chad who?
Bozeman. Black Panther.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is right. He is from South Carolina.
Yeah, he left there, went to art school up north, and then went from there. But outside of that, I grew up in the county, grew up on the farm, pretty much outside Pendleton. It's crazy. It's like it's a road, and the county's kind of across. I grew up right there, so I kind of went to either spot. Yeah. But I'm here in Charlotte now. I've been here since 2017. Do photography full time, coming out of telecommunication for like 11 years, I want to say. 11 years in there, and then, just trying to figure out what's next while maintaining everything I done built so far. I specialize in studio portraits, branding, engagements, weddings, maternities. Only thing I don't do is kids. If you got kids with you, that's a family photo, that's cool, but I can't do newborns. I just don't feel like I'm too gentle with them enough to be bending them around.
You ain't ready for that. That's real.
But yeah, man. And right now for me, everything is good. Life is good. I can't complain. I'm sleeping when I want to. Get up whenever I want to. Hey. The kids are good. So everything's good.
Good, man. How many kids? Yeah, so let's talk about how many kids you got, brother?
So I have 4.
4, okay.
I have 4. I have my oldest is Tyler.
How old is he?
He's 5.
Okay.
Nicholas is 4. My daughter Ari is 3, and my baby Nova will be 1 next month on the 18th.
Oh,
gotcha.
wow. Bro, you ain't slept in 6 years.
Nah, we get our sleep in. The one thing I think they got that gene for me is we going to sleep. We don't do nothing else. We gonna eat and go to sleep.
That's a blessing.
Hey, that's
everything's lovely, man. They're all legit replicas of me. The one thing I say they all get from their mothers is their hair, because they don't want this problem. I've been bald since I was 21.
So basically,
so you have all girls.
No, I have 2 boys, 2
boys,
girls.
2 girls.
Got the boys first.
So the boys might have a chance. Oh yeah.
So yeah, they got long hair. They basically got like the what? They're like wigs.
When do you start going bald though?
I started going bald at 21, but my hair has always kind of been low and thin. So I probably was going bald before that, and just really didn't know it.
You ain't accept it.
How long did you fight it before you just accepted it?
Oh, I didn't fight it. Oh no, that was no fight.
You didn't do the George Jefferson?
Nah, my man's gave me the mirror. He was like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and pay you extra 20 and go ahead and take this off. Been bald ever since.
Hey, it's all good.
I didn't even fight it. Like I'm talking about it's one of them things. He did the slow turn too to the mirror. Let me go ahead and slow me into it. Maybe he'll keep it. Nah, go ahead and take that off. He just kept it off. But the crazy thing is that as I went bald, my beard came in. So I was like, that's a good trade off. We'll keep it.
Yeah.
We'll take that one. I come here baby faced out for real and be bald headed, man. That'd be terrible life to live.
Hey, nobody get between a man and his barber. That's real. That's real.
Yeah, man.
I don't mess around with my barber. I'm in that chair, boy. You better get back.
You ever lock eyes with your barber on accident?
Nope.
For real? Not one time in your whole life. You accidentally, but man, you something caught your eye, like a bad chick walk in. Y'all kind of have to look back at each other. Like you trying to not look back at him, but you got to look back across before you close your eyes. And he right here shaping your top lip up. Look me in the eye. You never did that?
Nah, because half the time I be asleep. I be asleep.
Hey, that made you think like
I'll put it. Let me give you a more fair answer. Not that I remember, because it might have happened, but I don't remember it.
I don't give up on your barber real quick. Like I need to chill by the window now, so when I see him walk in, that's actually a thing of mine. Like going to the barbershop, these moms be walking in there now. They were bad back then, but they be walking in now. Like
we ain't gonna talk about.
Hey man,
yeah, we ain't gonna talk about it.
We could talk about it,
but
but
I'm gonna say nothing. I say nothing.
I could talk. I don't know about the rest. I could talk.
So let me
she looks too. So
let me ask a question, right? So you worked in telecommunications for 11 years, and then you went full time photography.
Yeah.
Since when, brother?
This would have been this around October of 2019.
Now, was it always something that you wanted to do, or did you get into it, or did you kind of figure it out later?
So let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you the truth, because you gotta lie. I'm gonna tell you right now, I lie about the story. If anybody asks, I think I even told y'all the story. What I usually say is, yeah, I work in telecommunications. Somebody gave me a camera, it became a hobby. Then I felt I could get paid from it. I did somebody's headshots, and then all of a sudden I said I wanted to do it, and here we are 3 years later as a career, right? I believe that's the same thing I told y'all. That's actually a lie, so I apologize for lying to y'all. So seriously, what happened was, no, seriously though, I was in the riff of, like, I don't know if I really want to do this forever. Working in telecommunications, because it was like things were changing, commissions was going down. So anybody that used to work, and especially for Verizon, that's why I used to work for it, and know what those checks used to look like. We was getting like, man, on an easy month, 7,000-8,000 for selling phones. And then the market kind of changed. I blame T-Mobile with their whole wanting to, finance, let you finance phones and stuff like that. Yeah. And they went down to like 3,000, 4,000. I ain't used to it. Yeah. And then I got into management, and it got worse. And I went to a pool party, and it was a guy there that I knew, didn't even know he did videography, and he had his camera. Me, I'm young Thundercat still. I feel like this was like I said, this probably was 2015, 16. And I went to the pool party, and I'm like, oh, the women love this nigga. Like, I bet. Let me see what's up. I bought this little camera, and then I was like, this shit sucks. I don't even know how to take the lens off or none of that. Let me just put it in a drawer. Put it in the drawer. Fast forward, I run into my man again right before I'm about to move back to Charlotte. And he was like, yeah, you know, I done got bigger. I got my own studio. I do like real like deal videos now. Like people pay me $2,000-$3,000 to do commercials for their products and stuff. I'm like, what? Off of a camera? I'm like, off of a camera? Like, for real? Bro, I never ran back to a drawer so fast and picked that camera up. Because I'm like, bro, you're making, if not the same thing I got my team selling for in 30 days. You're making that off of one project?
Yeah, one. Yeah.
Oh, that's all the math I need to hear.
Yeah.
And he's telling me like one project, you know, they'll be like 2-3 hours long, and then they'll take him 2 to 3 days to do the cuts and get them back.
So did you start out doing videos, or was it just photos?
It was just photos.
Okay, and then...
Because I was like, I said, at the time, I was like, man, I didn't know nothing about taking lenses off. I didn't know what the different lenses did. I didn't know about like filters. I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know any. I knew Photoshop, but that was cropping and changing colors.
So how much? So this was 2015, right?
Yeah. And nothing happened between then until I saw this man again in, I would say, mid 2018, early 2019. So from that point until I quit my job, I had gotten already better to the point where I was like, yo, I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to do this full time.
How much time did you spend like just working on the craft?
Every day. Every day I wasn't at Verizon, and sometimes while I was at Verizon.
So did don't say that too loud.
I've been turned out to
what they gonna do?
Hey, so I got a question. Yeah. So was he like your mentor, or did you have somebody?
It just was. I'm one of those people, man. Like, and it sucks, but I know I am this way, and it's like until I see the proof or I trust your word behind it, I'm not gonna put too much thought into it. Because I have to see it work, or I can't. My brain can't rationalize it, right? So me knowing him from when I first met him, you know, pulling up in the what was it, Grand Marquis to now pulling up in a newer. I had a newer SUV, had all his equipment back there, and he had like the logo, you know, his logo polo and stuff on. Seeing that change is like, I guess you can say, quote unquote, like, you know, cliche to say, but rags to riches type thing from somebody that you didn't even see what happened in the middle and how long it really took, but you knew that it happened. So you telling me like, okay, that's what you did while you worked at a steel mill, and then now you're doing this full time, making this amount on a project. Why can't I do the same thing? And that like once that light hit, it was like I can't stop.
I gotta go do it.
I can't stop. And it turned into a literal obsession. Like when I tell you, I would be at work, like, yo, like hitting people up, like, hey, I'm getting off at 5 a.m. I'm getting off at 8, or can we do something in the morning? Oh, I'm off this day. So let's get up and let's go here and let's try this out. Spending I don't know how many hours, and I'll tell you this, I didn't go to a class. I have yet to take a class for photography. I learned everything through trial and error and YouTube University.
Wow, yo,
everything from lighting down to how to light, how different settings means, like what am I really reading when I'm looking at the specs of a camera, to even down to skin textures, complexions, the difference in what's behind the color wheel. The color wheel. Studied that for like a week just to understand really skin tones and textures.
What you go to school for?
You know, I went to school for 2 years. I wanted to be a architect.
Makes sense.
I wanted to be an architect. And when I saw how many math classes there were,
that's real. But the reason I said it because of just the kind of analytical approach that you took to it, it makes sense that you went to school to be an architect. And kind of you still and this goes to something I was talking to one of my friends about, that what your occupation isn't necessarily what your strengths are. Your strengths are just your job is a result of the strengths or the skill set that you have, right? So you being the type of person who is very like analytical and goes through things in a kind of meticulous thought process made you be excellent at photography. But it really wasn't gonna matter what you did. You were probably gonna be good at it anyway because of that kind of like idea. Because like I use this, like I'm not good at coaching. I'm good at like, you know, mentoring and like leadership and like articulating and communication. I just and regardless of what I did in life, I was going to be good at those skill sets regardless. So it makes sense when you say, because I asked like, yo, architect, okay, that makes sense, bro. You know,
like, and the reason, and it was crazy. I had this idea as a kid back then that we were going to be living in a time where space wouldn't matter. and I wanted to build tiny homes back then. Like, as a kid, because I'm always a very like minimal person. Like, so if it ain't got to be there, it don't need to be there. Especially I would say that in my personal life at home. Like if it's nothing to be there, and the size doesn't matter because you can make anything work. That's why like even now being in the studio that y'all came to do y'all shoot, like if you really look, I didn't utilize all of it.
Mm-hmm. No,
I didn't utilize all of it because I started shooting in the living room for 2 years until I got into that spot. Literally the size from that cave right there where your front door is to where the front of your steps start, and it literally probably was this deep. That's how big at the time my living room was. Just about. I would say.
I remember I saw videos of you. Yeah. It was. I think it was your living room.
Yeah.
Like I remember I was going like because how I met this guy, right? First of all, right, I was at an open mic. I didn't know this guy did photography. I was at an open mic. It was actually at Blue Olive. It was at Blue Olive, bro.
Yeah.
And like you did spoken word. He did spoken word, right?
Yeah, man.
That's spoken word poetry.
Yeah.
And like,
wait, was it? Hold on. Was it the erotic night or was it the?
No. It wasn't erotic night because I don't do. I can't give it. Like, that's just too much for me. But it was at Blue Olive, and you had spit some joint, right? It was dope, and I was like, and then like you gave your IG, and I was like, and then I was like, yo, this guy's dope, like, and then I found out he was a photographer. So right, and this was around the time we started the podcast. This is around the time we originally started the podcast. So I was like trying to like, and then I tried, and I, once I finally did photography, I was like, yo, like, because I hit you up, and this was probably like right before COVID.
Yeah. You did.
So, and I was trying to kind of see about getting some stuff together for us to do a photo shoot. Then COVID happened, and we took a break from the podcast, and then once we got back and running.
I appreciate that, man.
Like it's crazy.
Crazy time. It don't feel like it was that long ago.
It was, man. This was like
right.
2019, I think, or 20.
Oh yeah, 19. Yeah, Blue. So yeah,
it was 19.
So poetry is something that I do. That's my detox to keep me away from work. So like between the business, being a father, and just me being who I am, a people person, I exert a lot of energy to be around people. If you look at my IG story, I'm always out somewhere doing something, either because I was invited or they want me to be there for a reason. And so my step away from that is, let me just go do poetry. I've been doing poetry since high school. My dad died in high school, and that was kind of like the way I coped with it. Miss Turner, I always had that one teacher. She put me on the poetry, and ever since then, I just always been a writer. And then when I lived in Charleston, Courtney the poet put me on one of her shows, and it just kept going from there to the point where it's like, I love doing this. I just do this. If I do this, it relaxes me so much. Because for once, I'm in a space to be critiqued by people that I have no idea who they're, like when I met y'all, I got an idea of who everybody was, right? Mm-hmm. So the work I do for y'all, I know what it's going to be critiqued off of. When I get on stage as a poet, you can see people in the crowd. I don't know these people. I don't know if they're gonna I don't know their expectations. I don't know if they're gonna like me, like if they're gonna judge me like personally, how I get on stage, how I look, how I'm gonna come off. So that's like that one time for me I can just kind of like be like new, like all right, cool, whatever, just get this in and let's do it. But no, I didn't, that's crazy. Said I could have sworn it was because they started doing it again after COVID.
Yeah.
After COVID, so
yeah. It was at Blue Olive in Ballantyne.
Oh yeah,
because I remember then I saw you again at what spot was that at, man? Because me and my wife was there, and it's Alex. People were like, who's Alex? Like me and my wife was there, and then so, but yeah, man.
I feel like it was Recess.
Recess, that's where it was.
Yeah.
You be over there doing poetry
on Wednesdays? Yeah.
Oh, okay. I be over there too sometimes.
Yeah, you be over there?
Yeah,
I've been a couple of
Reggie, he be over there.
So
he don't tell us.
Hey, man, I don't be there.
Hey man, I
can't lie, I don't be there.
Sometimes you got to go out solo. Sometimes.
Okay.
I like.
But it's interesting you say that solo piece and you talk about the poetry to get away. Mm-hmm. I think that's an interesting dynamic that like I think gets forgotten sometimes in people's lives. Is where do you find your time for you? Yeah. To really detox on everything that you have going on, whether it's like you mentioned, work, family, all the different things. Like, where do you and honestly, like for me, I find it literally in just sometimes I just be like, I want to be in the crib, ain't nothing on, nothing, no TV, no radio, no nothing. Mm-hmm. It's just me because my daily everything about what I do for a living is communicating with people.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just don't want to deal with people.
It's tiring.
It's not that I don't like people. It's sometimes I just don't have the energy. I need the time for myself, right? And I think that's such an important aspect. And I caught that when he said he goes by himself and you were talking about the poetry. Like, we all need that.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
You gotta.
Do you enjoy what you do?
I do.
You love what you do?
I do.
Do you love what you do?
I love what I do.
Do you love what you do?
Oh, y'all know I love what I do.
Do you love what you do?
Let me see. Let me think about it. Nah, just
That's a no. It's a no. Because if you thinking about it, it's a no.
Nah, I love everything I do.
So now my question to all of y'all is, they say if you love what you do, it never feels like work.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That's not 100% true.
That is a lie.
That's
So
That's not 100% true.
I'm gonna go
Because
against
at the end of the
that.
day, well, part of it too, and it's different in different ways. You work for yourself, so that's a little bit different. In some ways, I work for myself, and in other ways, I work for other people. And so when you get directives, especially those that you don't necessarily agree with, that's going to feel like work. That's just the reality. That doesn't mean that it's a bad thing.
Flashbacks.
It's just what it is. When you get certain directives, when you're asked to do certain things, when certain tasks are placed in front of you, that's work, right? But if it's things that you don't mind doing, it's a lot easier, right?
It's a lot easier.
I've always said, and I think everybody sitting here will agree with this, you can be in the best work environment you could ever possibly be in, or the worst, and there's still going to be some things that you disagree with.
Yeah.
In terms of the process, whether it's the process, the schedule, the pay, the whatever, there's something you're going to not agree with.
Even if you're the boss.
Correct.
There's something about the business, there's something about the people you deal with that you're not always going to be.
Well, because sometimes if you're the boss, but you got, depending on what kind of company it is, you could be the boss, but you got to deal with the board of directors.
Yep.
Yeah. And then and like you say, with dealing with the board of directors, you still got to wait a certain way to do things, but you want we could do this so much better if we did it this way, but you disagree. And like you say, it's always something that is going to be, it'll be little, it could be big. It's always going to be something that you don't like.
Yeah, or you prefer it be done a different way.
I know for me, like you said, I love what I do. Like, I love the aspect of shooting. When I walk out the house and I head to the studio, wherever I work today, I love the love. I wake up, think about it. Like, that's the part I love.
When he says shooting, folks, he means with a camera.
Yeah, with a camera.
I was thinking
with a camera.
I was gonna say it.
Yeah, but we're different climate. We don't want any sensitive people reporting me. I filed my taxes, I promise you. But I would say the part where it becomes like it's business and it's job and it's one of them times where I sit at my desk in my house. I'm like, man. It's the back end stuff.
Right.
So the stuff that gets hidden from a lot of people when they have a job, I see 100% of that.
That's right.
I see 100% of how my money gets processed.
Billing,
I see where everything
yep.
is like the fees for all the apps and software that I have to use to make things run smoothly. I have to have the conversations about when people have particulars.
Yeah.
When they have example, I love weddings. I love shooting weddings. That's another big piece of this business that I do that fits in. I love doing weddings. I recently had a bridezilla. Everything had to be at a certain time, at a certain moment, in a certain place. It didn't matter about everything. Everything had to be shot a certain way because she wanted to mirror somebody else.
Oh, of course.
And even their engagement session was that way. Mm-hmm. It was, and it's cool, and I learned to take the step up. But it's sometimes that's the part I be like, man, y'all, like, cause y'all, my flow is I'm very chill. Let's have fun. Let's get it in. Let's make it happen. Let's keep it relaxed. It's not meant to put pressure on you thing. Now, granted, the pressure thing is easy, but when it come down to got to deal with that stuff, I really be just back like, all right, okay.
Did you ever bump heads in that instance, or was it kind of like, I'm a fall back, let her do her thing, and I'm gonna do my thing?
For me. And there was a moment it could have been. And it was because she was sending her wedding director to deliver some of the messages. And so the wedding director was taking as her initiative to convey the attitude instead of just the message.
Oh, really?
So it really wasn't going to be a bump heads with the bride. It was going to be a bump heads with her wedding director.
Because the wedding director was getting, she was getting the lashing, and she was like, yo, somebody got to get
somebody got to eat this.
Who said board, dealing with the board, right?
Yeah.
When I was in Mansion Rise, the same thing. The people up here that we don't never get to see would throw down these harsh messages. messages, and it just filtered down. And eventually it's going to get to the person they get beat on the most, which ironically was right above me. And when he came in, it was like he come in here like, I'm sorry, it just, that's where they came with me. So I just gave it y'all in that moment.
Rolls downhill. Like
so it was that same situation. The director was just getting it from her, and I feel if I got it a quarter of what she got, I understood. So I was able to just be like, all right, cool. But I really had to tell like, yo, listen, I get that's how she's saying it. You just tell me the mess.
I got a question. Professionalism. Mm-hmm. How is the level of professionalism, or how do you feel about the level of professionalism when it comes to just the people that you deal with, and then the rest of y'all go ahead.
You mean like the
just in general, like as far as the like clients, right? Like I'm pretty sure for the like obviously we are professionals, right? We had a certain like decor that we came in with, but I'm pretty sure you have instances when people come through and it's like, yo, why are you late? Or
are you on my close friends?
Huh?
Are you on my close friends?
I mean, sure.
Not yet. But it depends on what you
For
got
the
in there,
purposes of this, yes,
Look, so yeah, you know, for the most part, everybody comes through because before I answer, let me say this. If you look on any of my social media, I believe in being authentic to who I am. That's why I don't have a second page. I have one page. It's my personal page. It's my business page. Because I want you to see exactly who you're dealing with. I'm very playful. Jovial, I think is the word I'm going to go for. Yep. But I'm also about business. The issue is sometimes people will take that playfulness and think that you're not as serious about business, and they try you. So for the most part, though, because people see how I am and they know I will get online and we will, hey, it'll be like a quick Zoom, like, hey man, imagine showing up 30 minutes late and then you're gonna still get an hour session.
Nope.
You got, hey, I cut everything at 10 minutes till, so that way I can make sure I'm ready for the next person. That's exactly how everything lines up, right? But then you get some people like, I literally almost stopped doing branding shoots. Because
you're not allowed to stop doing branding shoots. Just so you know, you can do. Everybody else cannot have branding shoots, but we having branding shoots.
So look, and if you've been with me before, you come back through. But I've really had to restructure how I'm going to take on new branding clients because these are the ones I think come in with the idea and the mindset of professionalism, but then when they show up to the shoot, it's so unprofessional. So you're not going to show up late with. Hold on, how you doing, guys? You're not going to show up late to me. If we say 3 o'clock, I say in my emails, 10, 15 minutes, get there early. And that's because I already know the session before that, I'm ending 10 to 15 minutes early because I know how fast I work. Number 2, if you are going to do things like have a makeup line, lash line, please select other models, as well as please make sure that you have the makeup done as flawlessly as possible. That's it. Clothes, iron your clothes. I understand.
Don't iron them at the studio.
You know what I'm saying? We understand some things get packed though. We got a little steamer, that's cool, but don't come in full-fledged wrinkled out. Like that I think that irks my nerves because it's like I think if you don't show with anything else right, the one thing that you looked at and said this is gonna make this shoot fire is your clothes.
Yes.
And you didn't take 5 minutes the night before, the morning of,
press your joint
to just run it across. But see, here's what they think. Oh, he's a photographer. He can do what? He can edit that out. I ain't editing nothing. You show a wrinkle, that wrinkle gonna be there.
Yeah,
you
can't edit.
Certain things just gonna show up.
If you're not gonna put that type of energy into your brand, why do I have to exert the extra energy to make it happen?
That's that energy,
and that's just how I am. And then outside of that, 95% of my client base is women, 5% men.
Yeah.
And the lack of professionalism comes in that when they feel they take the playfulness and the ha-ha-dee-hee making you laugh because believe it or not, I'm as nervous as probably y'all when y'all get to the studio. Like my nerves are kind of like, okay. And the way I get rid of that is we have a good time, we laugh.
Yeah.
But some women take that as flirting and then they get in there and they want to be Miss F and F in the studio. And then you gotta yank back and be like, yo, chill.
Just having fun.
Just having fun. That ain't what time it is. And let's keep having fun though.
Even with that, I see what you're saying because sometimes having fun loosens up the person that's taking a picture. Yeah. They not trying to be so commercial. Now they're actually being themselves. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying. That's very important out there.
Let me ask you this question because you mentioned that you're just as nervous as the client. I'm gonna phrase this way on purpose. Is it because you've been dealt with some disasters before? Is that where like is it more of like I got to take these pictures and I'm nervous, or is it more of I hope they don't come in here with that foolishness like XYZ, Bridezilla, or whoever might have did?
So it's more of because I put honestly it's neither one of them.
Okay,
I have been thankful enough to not have been wrapped up in any scandals, any nonsense, shenanigans. Because I'm quick to cut off at the head, and if I ever feel like it's gonna go that way, I always have somebody there at the studio with me. So there's no, and now that we have cameras at the studio, it's even easier for me to be like, hey, that ain't what happened. I can play it back for you right now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because
smart.
Because I didn't see Charlotte is a good market. There's a lot of opportunity here, but Charlotte is also a downfall market. You get one slip up as a male photographer. That's why the last 5 that were good have left, or some of the ones that are here that still dabble in certain things only dabble with a certain type of clientele.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
You see what I mean? So I've been lucky enough to not get involved in any of that mess. The nervousness comes down because of how it's like when you like going to a restaurant, that presentation is everything, right?
Yep.
I want to make sure not only is everything cool and you're comfortable, but at the end of the day, I'm able to get the style of images and the quality of images that I want. And I don't want it to make it look like, I'm just a photographer that can get images because they work with models. I'm just a good photographer because he worked with a certain style of people all the time. I don't meet people until they show up, unless, like you met me out. A lot of people find me on Instagram. They find me on Google searches, stuff like that. So I don't really meet them until I talk to them on the phone, or we, they come to the studio. So it's not and this is somebody's gonna watch this, and I'm gonna end up on somebody else's podcast getting trashed again. It's not saying because some people work with certain type of body types, certain type of models, certain type of clientele that they aren't good. But if you throw them in a situation where, prime example, we don't got wasting ass fat, but you got Miss my favorite type of woman, Miss Cook Macaroni and Cheese, right here coming in. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to handle that. Mm-hmm. They don't know how to pose them. They don't know how to inflict confidence in them if they don't have it.
Gotcha.
They also don't know how to pose them. And then they try to use the same shooting and editing techniques on them that works for everybody else, but it don't work for them. And that's where I pride myself in, because I'm going to shoot everybody. I don't care. I don't care. You clear as this table, dark as the night sky, wide as all outside, skinny as a pencil. When you come in, the keys I'm going to find what works for you.
That's it.
That's what works for you. Now what works for me. Good. And that's where the nervousness kind of builds up, because I don't know, and I want to make sure I'm prepared to make sure I'm giving that same thing. I want everybody to go to the same person, like, yo, girl, he shot with me, and then he also shot my homegirl that's told him, and they got the same, we all got the same thing, and everything was cool. And then like I like that type of experience versus go see them, because if you want to do these style photos, that's what they good at. But girl, you got to be a certain way when you go.
You want them to be as themselves.
Exactly. Yeah. The biggest thing I hear from women when they want to book me is I got to lose the weight, and I'll be like, why?
That's real.
That's real. So I'll be like, let me know it. Like, not why from a sense of like you shouldn't because it's not healthy, but why do you feel that way? And all of them say because they want to match or look a certain way, and I tell them the same thing every single time. We can get you as close as possible, but you're still gonna be you. You're not gonna look like that.
You might as well be you because everybody else is taken. But let me ask you this question, because I'm listening to you talk about that, and there's two things that sort of resonate with me, especially from a business construct, right? Mm-hmm. Because most people look at things and they may say, okay, a photographer is providing a good.
Oh, I'm providing a service.
But there's a service that's right. Yeah. And as I was listening to you talk, right, you were talking about the service aspect of it. Mm-hmm. The end result pictures, which is the good, means nothing if the service process is bad.
Well, do you know
you know what I mean?
That's right. And that's why I don't care about being published.
Right.
I post it all the time. I don't care about being published. I don't care about my stuff getting in magazines. I don't care who see it. Like, I just want the person that came for the service to enjoy it. Like you said, the good.
The thing that you said that stood out to me is that as a black man, you're talking about instilling confidence in black women. And that's dope to me. And I think like just the idea, and we're going to get into a lot of stuff in the second part of this episode in regards to that, in regards to the black man and the black woman. But like, why, I guess, do you feel, or what makes you like the idea of making someone feel good about themselves?
Because there's times, even to this day, I don't feel good about myself, and I still have to. I have to find a way to push through the day. I have to find a way, because let me tell you something. The crazy thing is, I talk to people all the time, but if you watch how I talk, I really don't show my teeth because I got gaps. You know what I'm saying? And everybody say you could have got braces this, but then, you know, it's like, and I say it couldn't happen, it didn't happen, whatever, blah blah blah. But for me to do that for somebody else, to still help, like to be like, hey, let me help you push through the day. Are you, you know, you never, because in the end, you don't know nobody's backstory. Yeah. Right. You don't. You know, some people show up to these shoots, and a lot of them on birthdays, or like I do a couple of lifestyle different ones where they're just like, I just want to celebrate, and then I do ask like, hey, what do you celebrate? And they'll just be like, you know, just getting over stuff, right? So imagine you got this one moment that you saved up for. You've went and got your hair done. You got your makeup done. You ain't got nobody at the house, so your friends around to come with you and tell you look good and tell you, you know, congratulations for getting over that cancer treatment. Congratulations for getting that house that you wasn't supposed to get because you got out of a divorce with a husband left you with bad credit and damn near bankrupt. Congratulations for raising kids, you know, raising your kids and doing everything right by them. Congratulations for looking at that business. Congratulations because, you know, just in general, you're an overall dope person, but you hang around, you're around friends or family that use that as a weakness from you to them. Like, congratulations. Every day you wake up and you get out here and you hustle, but then you got this one moment you saved up for. Again, you got your hair done, you got your nails done, you got the favorite outfit, you got the poses, you come to the shoot ready to go. We got the props and everything set up. And then you get there and that experience that you had that moment for to instill that affirmation or that 100% that confidence is valid. It's shit.
Yeah. And I think
we can
that's
end on that
good joint to end on because we gonna have a part 2 of this. So
that was good.